nano pay and come pa ye day a free and a share ye abepie mo hano yentumi emfa emma washe for any watie for nyina Heart Builders Real Estate send you munim ne dadano and then so esanso a branda na esanso da foforo say da foforo dia and then Heart Builders Real Estate I was say ne ye na tiefo ne yahwefo nyina nso edinkita ho niema omoti asese balance asepa amanso eni ho a emunkrata sem enso eda form boko na langards asembia eni ho na ni nyina ene Heart Builders Real Estate and I no pay se o tie ye na se o hye ye numbers na go so our screen so fa na for Heart Builders Real Estate na enkomo went to me anti free her and I no pay no ye to me ene wo ato aso Heart Builders Real Estate any munim ni dada no so hye na kira kwan ye wo Ashaman Kaketo Junction and directly opposite Ashaman Police Command na so ye oho ene ye butuo ne edi juma ede aboa Ghana fo nyina empo wona woni Ghana hanom so na amohwe ye na amotie ye no omatumi anam Heart Builders Real Estate for ye so etumi anya asase pai bi Heart Builders Real Estate ye nsase ayebo ho de ro ede acho amansan ne nyina no ye guso ewo ni duduo mu ewo eye Shy Hills ningo pram sanso ena Chopoli onim Shy Hills a akoso mo kwantempon so baby a monkeys ebu ewan kran hanom pa kwan so ho ene ewo onya trasa monkey sanctuary ne kakra bia na chese wadu Heart Builders Real Estate yensase ewo Shy Hills ne so awie anesa obepie mu ewo odd ningo pram directly opposite ningo secondary technical school no eho ene yensase ewo woni duduo ma ye twa ama obiansa etumi akabi obepie mu ewo Topolia airport city airport city yes enche bia nyankopon ya adoma airport betumi abepie mu ewo honomo enti tutu America na wonan emoto na bra Heart Builders Real Estate for ye na sie na bra na be airport city hobby and na bibia entumi enkoye emfa emam asase pe ya yebo ho da rei se ukra 25,000 Ghana cedis and as a 30,000 Ghana cedis and kanisika dada 250 million and a 300 million. Fabula Heart Builders Real Estate for you in China by the full plot 70 by 100 dimension. Onyan wo baby I just a Heart Builders Real Estate. Young kwana yama akwenya sefa sikano emufa na fa beto ase. Niama abusumi nsia anase afintem na fa enkayeno bra na fa besoso. Onyan wo baby I just a Heart Builders Real Estate. Your numbers no go screen so far na friend. Na se empo ote yen kan. Your numbers na go so 0256 064 492 0256 064 492 and 0540 226 276 0540 226 276 Heart Builders Real Estate. Your contact here there to join na active all social media platforms. Entifa na frey na nkomo wante no yetumi ede emunchemu ama 0256 064 492 0256 064 492 Fana for Heart Builders Real Estate na nkomo bia aka no yetumi ene wo edi no wo etwe honomo me kwaye krom na chese wana wanti twi no so etumi enya emuncheye kakra ewo ho na mayu etumi edibe apem so ede amamo me ata evetowe indike mini bana me apete na mele mi anko sela ka febe Heart Builders Real Estate abalesi mi nye hoho a egbecha ganye keke bubu ke hia ba mi agada mi agi eye do wana ikemi wona le mi afa do wo pa mi atem akọ emekuku akọ venami na mele Heart Builders Real Estate to mi afa ye we modia mele Ashaman Kaketo Junction Ashaman Kaketo Junction tapa de sere sike etodale Ashaman la to kwenye be na come up number so ne na yomi tapa de sere sike elele egentu ko ya meke bode Heart Builders Real Estate to mi afa do pa to kwenye be na ko Ashaman apu na gbo na mate allo driver be ya didale Ashaman traffic adiole Ashaman traffic no nya adiole Ashaman traffic ko la bia be ye na de Kaketo ne eyo nkoyale Ashaman mabu na me atan yo ka keto lato kwenye be na yo heart builders real estate to me afa number so kala screen agi e te pa de sia de sike etoda me aten afia mo e na agada me agi me afa anyigba kemle no pocho na mele ndi agala me asele pa gbososo mele shy hills ningo pram play chopoli na menya shy hills wala akoso momoji na nya jele monkey sanctuary on vida kola edo heart builders real estate to me afa anyigba jifo ningo pram ele directly opposite ningo secondary technical school afa opposite square na toda anyigbaji atano ningo school mekpo tagada heart builders real estate to me agi na baho anyigba kemile no pochom chopoli enye 30,000 Ghana cedis ningo pram play shy hills near 25,000 Ghana cedis na egaya opete kemeyola siwa milo kwekle asie vebe na gada heart builders real estate to me agi na baho full plot 70 by 100 dimension akadikla echitede epa gbalenya o mecheko langard nya de kemele hu no nye langard fenya voye ke heart builders real estate monu popole now be na gada miaji abaho anyigba ke langard nya de ke mekude hu no nye ekpe blocks bricks electrical appliances plumbing materials the said esi koko wona hondo a ele heart builders real estate to me asile epe agbososomi na le polytanks g ebe mo biodigester now to kwenye be na your heart builders real estate monu pokpo de said esi ke ele ko oche aton azu ehoto alo anyigbato a aton ato heart builders real estate to me agi akwe come your number so mamleto ne na yomi ne ma yu na kokpo to ne wakowunu na me your number sa wenye 0256 064 492 0256 064 492 allo 0540 226 276 0540 226 276 Gada heart builders real estate to me agi egbe kesino no de sia de sike ediela opasi aton akpenam
me da say the next 3 minutes yanko ne ampon
yo ya da say me pa cha wa fa number ne dia na ye kira kwan ewo ashaiman enti yame ya adoma yesu amane hu de se de wunimo no ana se ma beton sase ewo heart builders ene ma mutie yenda ewo fidikesi so no oni say every Friday and Saturday morning no ye cop site enti fiada we ne memenda we de yesu amane hu nti ye nyina ye chia ye ni akohwe ho na ye koba after the Easter ye visit na da so agina de agina ye no beko na wakwa akohwe ye hia ne se obeba ya aso ye ewa shaman opposite Capital Divisional Police Station na beto ye wo ho a eho ne do beko site na wakwa akohwe ba bia ya bobo so acho ni nyina sikatuya mu no ye wo 25,000 Ghana cedis wo ho 30,000 Ghana cedis wo ho ubetimi atuatua na kakra anase ebumutua nso ewo ho ubetimi de ni nyina aba ni nyina se wo pese woni yen edi saa ensa osuei ewo sa adwumade yi mu a yesro no afa ye numbers no ewo 0540 226 276 anase obefre yen so ewo 0256 064 492 ni nyina wo frɛ yen a se WhatsApp baby apese o de fa bia me pa cho fafa na de fa e betumi ehia wo kama ewo ho enti yan kasa kese no ye pa cho fa ye numbers no de wo ti de wante
Shannon so on we begin heart builders so na mu yan fasida emfa mo se de mi ma mo di kan ya nte no I no pay yenua Eric and afi Fantia Kwasout former member of parliament to Rarafat onu mienu na ye me guests ma ye de today's agenda e de bro ye ba be hwe niam ahodo a ekoso e wo Ghana ha sei sabre egusua ye twon mampani na watumi aform the government onwie ye enso te hono ma bete ne se yesi group we so mo mpene ma we no ma MC typical example ya Asante Mampon whereby enuanom wo mo ye NDC fo e wo ho se omo ma Asantini nye MC DC e wa Asante Mampon e asem a wote ase a enye na ogitum a wote ase a enye na ogitum nso a enye nanso ne a ewo mo eno no we extend no na wo de hwe governance a ekoso sei e kwan a yenam so e appoint mpanimfo a wo mo ene ba bedi wo ma nenem anim ene ne ma hodo a ekoso no a sese nyina timi di ho nkomo ne nyina ye security issues a e wo se yetimi ehwe na yɛkeka bɔ mu a na yɛbusa yɛ ho sɛ ɛdeɛ na yɛhu no sesei ɛrekoduro akwaba bɔkɔ deɛ o nipa o so atade yi na onimade ɛfɛ pam wa pam no kama pa ya ka kyerɛ ne sɛ ɔnyere ne ho baabi ɔnam ne yɛ.
That's very good. Yeah, Derek Fashions.
Okay. Okay. Yankopon Shirano. Na engineer the Yankomo no eba besha.
Sanity.
Weekend in Yamako ye kakra.
Oh yeah, Numako ye. Yeah, research kakra, science training kakra. Over the weekends, mostly here training. Say a running school chartered Institute of Tax Law and Forensic Accountants Ghana.
Yeah. Twaso.
You trainee among four to become chartered tax law and forensic accountant.
Okay.
Based on the Professional Bodies Act, Act 143. And he has a Gazette school also. Into all professional bodies now, almost any statute on their own, but the United Professional Bodies Act as naturally say training to become members in that particular profession.
Okay.
And professional body BIA has got that power to train their people. Say a buying full so obemo, then it will become like a nationalized and I say a buying a bebem. But a buying a professional body you are under a law to operate.
I see. Ora fata kwaba.
Yeah.
Boko de.
Who pa?
O hotel ni din de say.
Araviv.
Share.
Arafat. Araviv.
Arani Vivian. Your wife is Vivian, and
yes.
Oh, okay. Beautiful. Araviv. Well, because where you be dear free.
You used to you'll be
Yeah.
Why stop over?
Go to me, ma stand the bahon now.
Oh, yeah. Say, go started from Fantiaquasa.
Yeah.
Started from Linda Do.
Okay.
It is Thursday.
When you know Fantiaquasa out.
Yes. Thursday, Linda Do, a boss or honor. Now, you started, if you must start here, but Arab. Now you come. There's a term behind Cocoa. Mendao.
Okay.
And Panama qua me calling them more and you know.
Okay.
It's just about 15 minutes.
You are back.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Arab. Now Arab in a way.
I will see no Arafat Hills. We in Arafat Hills.
Sir, Obiani one, mammy, the minimum. However, Obiano here.
I said, Obiani,
so
Obiani, see no Arafat Hills.
Okay.
We do a crowd who say, Medi, so tell me, Araviv Hotel.
See.
Obiamra weekend, Obanamo, Omegas, I will take care of things.
Sir,
talk about
call me. Me share that and plan a few weeks. But before we brought to on Safremi. And baby, Madame, it will concern a issue. No one can remember a VV. Oh,
no, Pepper, Saturday, Sunday.
A former MP came. So, police for 1 year salute.
They see any police guard because I'm your former MP.
Yeah.
So, yes, former MP.
Yeah.
A police for salute me crack.
Yeah, quite. But Nipa best or how crab how many of the other.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Papa, what do you?
Yeah. My network. Me hono yema. There are other hotels around.
Okay.
And you know, maybe networking. Now, Yakres will be we building a town, you know.
Anyway, my young queen, former MP, na we will fee now union or Parliament House, and in some IPP or my inferno and share and say, and Sania Babia, assumption could be a person can once.
Who made us my mentia Fantia Kafo, my mentia, young penny funina, a party penny funina. No correct. Current MP for your more. Omo yadi papa who say and same baby ya ebebano na who say woman puno woman ye kakra bi who say omo ye minority
yeah
omo yadi pa na sisi ya o hwe say de mahamani na ban ye say obe intimidate Ghana for in general obe intimidate journalist obe intimidate MPs na even ordinary citizen kura okoka wadwenya na yekuto mu se kua saa eniema no esisi nya minority a omiye ready and prepared and fearless who share leadership osahene afenyo make or a fearless character who share reverend him for do and oba keka ho nyina there's a obi enu ho a osuro say Japan in them crofo no eniema fun omoye no mu nturo eno magana fo hu say ye wo sebi you people man ko ene wo nipa ombeji man e bosswa no almost say o man so say the attempt to say a person gun of when na ye di hu shewu mu no enye djuma ombe try enye djuma re wo mo a ye operations o mu fie won say obi aka o
dabi
obi anka o
dabi
san crofo no nyina hu say bo kra ye mfa charge bia mo no nso so no yakọ ready ni fie hwe ko ready alaji Dr. Baumia the bodyguard almost why day almost why day why do they raid his house almost ko ready kind of Riata house almost why day and almost keka hu nyina former governor of the Bank of Ghana stand yebu o man stand e chichiro man it's like a gangster state bina ediaba na race setting no enuni race setting it is a yem famre nyeduma
shase o time na ye to abanum yem pene declare ye beku fanti akwa north se o man nyiro ho anka egi akonya ne
fi
it's an de to so suhum de ba protozo ahoy de ba enso ma do agi ba kokra castellano yen kan ho asem e na e build kwa na no yete se mampom so mo mpene ma asantini ye DCO MC ho chese
no way I feel the
tie se den sem no si kura o meni to so se ya he na de ye kuri
ye mpene ma asantini ye DC e wo
mampom he ni bre wo so nya
mampom
yes
mampom Ashanti mampom the white stool is a good of Ashanti. Hey.
Baby and this one they don't know.
Anyway. Arrow. Can't work as a arrow. Now what? Hey. Now but what I said the agree. Well, yeah, no more for say. This one more the about more so. Warm offices are almost shin. President in his wisdom. Obo we do say we na me so ye this.
Yes, yam. And I won't carry time and no more offices. No, I'm to me gina boldly before camera say, Mahama couldn't me here.
But I said, I know so.
No, so.
I say, oh, no, or show what you know more, yes, I name. So I'm kutupa. Yeah, none with the Omoko ye war, Reverend Team for your fee. And so shameful, so disgraceful. And yes, Mahama, who knew the procedure, says he a fast. If you want to interrogate him, he knows. He has been a member of parliament.
I said, unim no. I mean, so parliament now or now okay, unim no for this years in politics.
Yes.
The character never be free banner said you jina hone ade. Oba BME. Do you think say he's in control? And I say, otiakunyanus keke nipa bi na control.
I'm afraid. I say he's not in control. He's not in control. Because said the air question I onyu bia sebi unim and I'll say crofo unim say ade na omo ye no enye emfamara kwaso a sell mine but I say we dey transfer yenye ma na yenye ma ye do ba power nti the person ye transfer yenye ma na nya bedu sa breno a leader uni controller na I saw man I had to say sheep is since near any captain. San em say yeah, because a near man womo ye no. The lawlessness now mo ye no. Any meaning say Mahama unim say we and famra kwanso. Ono so nim so a democratically elected president. And ye coup d'etat bi near ye any de buy. Nti arehosem mo man no sa na me de me hu.
Okay.
Arehosem.
Yeah, asema areho. Me fana yi wo de ayedi ho nkomo. Enti o mamu ni nyina yenye den.
Amamu ni nyina we should talk. We should demonstrate. Sort ya say. Sisi ya no asofo eseso mo kasa. Trade union for eseso mo kasa. Civil society for eseso mo kasa. Ube kai say just before the election, see, this group of people are so penny for civil society for trade union for demonstrations. Say when declare state of emergency ewo galamsey ba ye trade union for nyina be call demonstration. This one way omo he
omo
galamsey no afi na triple me can't kiro omo he. So what were they doing at that time? Set time normal way for what? Was it their personal aggrandizement to be an answer na or man na normal dream? Because any may say no ya na penny for say or kwasiano say ya diminyonko na enemy by and by ebedu oman kasa now ebedu omso ebedu omso wan kasa now ebedu baby yourself for who could now pulpit him now come adwen ya ubeko fie na Japan and Crawford na duro
ejina
so enti ma omo mfa ne say ye de we the politics, the politicians nenya, the soul and the conscience of the people is the church and their leaders. The soul and conscience of the nation is the church and their leaders. Tinyama bi koso nenya, they should talk.
But I say, Ergodo, Kanza, young Kenny.
I didn't check my tea for ne ashefo and anope and say papa kasa. Na the echoes no a hydrogen kakra. Ninti a hydrogen is a rational purpose ben a masadi ni a cosu say a beboy and I say a cosu say obi malicious intentions. Say what dream can be a church you say be inside a be cancer but no cancer treat unions. The civil society or more power. Yes, or come home because business sector no help CSO, the AGI, the church, the clergy, chieftaincy, or more they are the thematic pillars for the nation. But me what I see is that the government has relative goodwill. It's a very difficult amount for me for now. Unless the key political opponents. Yes, that's the reality. Or Kankra also. But once we are having vibrant opposition, and no neutralizes all the other people who are not talking. And then the reprieve that we are getting as Ghanaians. Because other chief kind the government is enjoying some relative goodwill. Those institutions now come. So the opposition must now be much more vibrant as much as possible as it can. That's the only reprieve that we can get. It's uncalled for. Social media cry NDC for office. Oh, we are so there's a town be. NDC for Ankasa. Or more office or more ship.
Mampon Diana.
Wow. ABSC we am fee. ABSC. About two other Bonon towns. ABSC North region. Yeah. Answer, man. Pondiano credibility is my question.
And see, things we have to control them, but we are hoping, sir.
Control them. Why in control? We have to know have one.
Oh, the president is in charge.
Okay.
Yes, and he has the apparatus, the police, the military. All the state agencies.
Now this month, yeah, we are sure the president on your way.
I wouldn't know, say, whether he's aware or not, but he must be aware because he's fed information every day.
We are aware.
I said, and we are saying it in context.
Because only
everything that's happening in this country.
So we are saying it in context. Because one thing is, say the 2 million now, now from one case wakachino, and you in terms of security, the other side, then they said they would to me to quell it.
Yeah.
But if free one cast wakachipe, after now, why a bone since you mean 2 shares or an answer mean crack. And it's a very delicate issue. I think.
Right. Thanks for your submission. And Penan can come over.
Yes, electricity tariffs, no.
Okay.
And one some na. Penny for the shares. I say,
yeah.
Now, electricity tariffs, no. So my statistics be they are to honey. Now, electricity is the pulse of the nation. About power consumption, power distribution, transmission, and where you know the pulse of the nation. And Ghana hane ya womo generate almost transmitting and almost the quite a few mu. Now, I can say we mustn't politicize it too much. Help us too much. Mostly, no, measure the rationale behind that increment. Also, the Public Utility Regulatory Commission Act, yes, Act 538, 1997. Almost a pass year. So almost 30 price now. No mammy and son and almost section 16 hona 3 dunsia hona. Almost the interest of the consumer. No, I share the investor interest. And son was share in Nipalankasano, the people in that particular country no so. And son share cost of production. And to Noma means sana and share the public interest. Public interest because ubia here power say or the betenasi. Either say for commercial purpose, either say for domestic purpose, and I say industrial purpose. And you mostly Noma means say if you film and I turn Noma and I say a Numa for if the Numa for me here. Inti sa consumer no the interest in saying interest in feed into cost. How does he bear the additional cost that has been put into? We share statistics are almost a give year. Increments in the NDC 2010, 89%. 2015, 90.93%. 2016, 10%. And I think it was for observed reason because never go. It's really total now. Not just a bro, 200, almost 200, getting to 200%. Let me put it that way. Yeba MPP at 2018, 17.5%. 2023, 51.02%. And at 2024, 6.47%. Now we share the tariff adjustment. Now we can say MPP has done well in terms of meeting the interest of the consumer. That's very prime because consumer no or no ontimi could be hydroelectric friend saying ontimi koye tema or a friend saying atwabo a capital intensive anything that baby are buying them no and the service is so important to say see enimna e kwhye private sector and sape on also or the friends saying the better so Indiana buying very careful say about that aspect anything a world regulators no PURC and some even energy commission grants almost will roll play very key because they are the policy formulators are almost buying say the bear we can get other sources because you can't a friend saying power now you were thermal power, hydroelectric power, that is nuclear power, solar, wind, geothermal, biomass. So this mix of power handles, you know, what are we doing with ourselves? Even nuclear, sometimes I've been heard say they wanted atomic to begin feasibility studies on nuclear energy, and it's much cheaper. Only saying in chassis is solar. How chassis a bonus but with me here, the operating cost is very, very low. And are we looking at that aspect? Of course, we are not like other countries are. They use it for purposes of
before election. Then Comodia and their cost. Were you expecting say at this period, you better
I didn't expect.
I didn't, yeah.
The honey, I'm expecting to say, say, share some of the political talks, any some of the campaign messages, any the cost of running the nation, net inflation, air cost through exchange imbalances, cost of utilities. We saw, say, and the picture was painted, so the previous government was not doing well. But less than 3 months, or barely 3 months, we are getting 14.75% across board. 4.02% for water, 14% for electricity.
Yeah.
It's additional cost. It's additional cost for the business person. Because the business person a bit pushy into production costs. And the business sector, because of the prepayments now, which is being used, it runs faster. And in that sample, you have to make sure, say, now they are, and this is postpaid, and you want to be free, and you want to produce, they are working on your profit. Now they are too so, and I say, they are quite. We say, no, sir, you prepaid. It's a BBR, your cash flows must be what? Strong, some more money, and you prepaid. A sample, now my phone is a hot, and I was happy now. I say, now, so these are some of the and we are the consumer interest, the business sector, the individuals, especially the lifeline, those below the lifeline. Matisse, menyan in TSA, like it will be pervasive. Just a uniform everybody. Meaning say they might revise it based on the guidelines. Sentence are never equal there. Say more from no. How are they going to bear the additional cost? Because you see the economic implication is say
conclude, mami.
Say ye too sana. We income cost, so you pay the same cost with your disposable income. In portion and as a Ukraino, would you treat electricity bill?
Okay, you come in now. Come trade union Congress. We are very furious. Say, why do you give us 10% and then find a way to take about 19% from us? We share that electricity running up. I do 15%. Yes, and sun and insurance here 4%.
So 19% minus 10%. That's a net of 9% against the consumer. So where is he going to get that extra 9% of his income?
But some penny or banner of shall catch say. And Yamanin, MPP for disca, or must say economy, no sika 71 or the core negotiation table, TUC almost with G2 say my 10%. And the amount of 10% now say, and Yamanin now or Piscan be the Abuama and Yamana year. Why do you complain?
Oh, but they have the constitutional right to talk about it. Though the government doesn't have that discretionary power or two new member on consult one, but the best of which they are in that or consult one. It would have been better. But one consult for more now do we see but it is eroding their disposable income by 9%.
The final question is it not because say you politicize the energy sector and MIA whereby NDC say MPP near MPP say NDC near by energy sector near politicization and
politics need the NDA Brian or the BIA account. I think say going forward there's different cream of leaders and politicians we should begin to decimate the incidence of politicization and polarization. And what?
That's it. Yeah.
I'm free electricity.
Yeah.
Before I ever to Abano, NDC for see.
That's a former MP. Before I ever to Abano.
Yes. Say I can't a Ghana.
Yeah.
Woman see. Nipa bi eni ho a omo ye wicked etchin MPP for ene akufo-addo adan ya omo to electricity enti omo de omo ba won beti so said you aka say ko bi ade electricity e dey ye politics but omo say omo de omo ba won beti so na NDC for MPP for ye widi for itimo odin ye pesi e kun Ghana for ti nipa bebre ho no a enu ti no mkoto aba no e ma NDC se o ba yi gosumi enan Watum 15%.
Yeah.
Watum sum 4.something%. Deti who say Oma Dada Ghana for? Me don't for Dada me be no. Na mo fa ma me kan sem bi nchiro.
Cause
unim ebio o me say o ye ba ade a ye ba ye pa ene me be kan me do for Dada me ho nsem nko a. Ade ba ko ye ba ye pa ne say ye be 24-hour economy. 24-hour economy no ubi sound say dey na ba so ye beti electricity so ni ati nsuo so ni ati petrol so say the be ya adwumayefo private sector bit me create jobs the dofo dada me you know
electricity on gas on better so pa
eti omo an wo say ye betiti electricity so na ama adwuma omo enwuma manufacturers any employers etime a create jobs so what you say and are there to see no apart from the fact to say we share our budget no more year na bibie ni mu a can fa 24-hour economy and it means to say omo da Ghana for because say one fa expenditure bi and share budget no mu a untimi enye enka gomo betete so na ebukra ya say we provide budget support entino sa entities so na betis no ye de bema electricity for no wetimi active phones na industries aye adwuma ama e create jobs sisi ya no wo mu ano wadun say o ye be say ye be call 3 shift adwuma be ba ye be busu obi a be je bia ye no na me dofo adada me etosu mienu no o mo fa de etosu miensa ko aboso kan Chamber of Industries, importers, MC taxes a war. Haboni no. A dosu do ni board di.
She na fa kan ye.
Okay, kan ni nyina. Oba ye de no what is. Special import leave no enka ebewu 2025 no. Ebewu de na ebewu 25 no. Se enye se me dofo adada me a. Nka onko parliament nka se yen sam page mo nkosi 2028. CCI forcing akọ parliament ama omakoye omakọ uplift tax no they say e ma no mu 2025
enya because of sika semo a mo man to ni ye nti na bia ohia sika ode yesa anema
masa sika sembe wo mo ye omo manifesto no na omu nim de bibia ekọ bia o no nim si akọ IMF they say be sound say electricity na dey what won say MPP for na any IMF oko agree eyentro say IMF for omo ka say okay am review electricity bill no yen breso no in 2018 2019 you review no downwards you so by 17%
and 30%
and you review you so the same time na there IMF so and you catch them say MP for na kwame most so bukra mo ba mo se enema ene IMF wa nyina kra mo prince mo ba kwa akosesa no ne ade enti eye na da eno wada da Ghana for ma menka na da ba kunchiro
koso
koku akuafo
so koku akua ni ti ende
eye me ye bruta
be kai
koku akuafo that die NDC for MPP for ye nipa boni for mutrimo den same radio ze ka moto koku a won ma mokranya 6500 per bag set time no na koku well market in the bay about $10,000 per ton say enam to $12,000 per ton wa be ka kire en say muntimi ntuso enti eya kuafo ga na nyina
so wa be kire say that's every yom na kai na e fake na nenam kru
say dey
say o muntimi ntuso no
enye na atofo say original parliament all can say lam wo ho and so ko kanu
atofo say
kanu baby o parliament no
atofo say de na chire no koko board no so de bi bai na no mu refuse atofo say de kan kam ya record ato no be ka che koko board no be ka che say no ye fake and yes na atofo say de no ai
as they say anye ebi onyankopon da una aye finance minister koko board e she minister of finance say so say me person me chire say me dofo adada en ebebre hwe ema omudidwa o Ghana unum omododo
amazing
abofa ye be 33 or 34 million emu ema be about be more than half of us about 52% here ma na ema omu pesika e de didwa I'm about 10 million no.
Yeah.
Because even a man now say omo ye adwuma mpo. Omo ye adwuma wo. Offices no. Be didwa. A man na omo ye afuo. Omo didwa ka ho. to catch them ma say me ba bibie bank amamo ama ma na mo bo say na ode budget buy I was 51 million. Any part 10 million, I'm over divided 51 million.
51 million, it mean be a bank and a crown will be any.
And yet, me do for that. So, this government
because Ghana will be a bank at 400 million.
And to the 51 million, a damn bank now you could be. Bank of Ghana create more allowances to operate. Me do for that diamond, and also so come. Na say, who sorry na say. Ade ba kun so a me wanwa so called cocoa board was a gold board no gold board no amufa the only thing I'm hearing is say Eddie smuggling of gold ebeba
one day I say any some block smuggling of gold
yet me block smuggling of cocoa cocoa eti say daka mu a obi ehu yetimi abloko gold de e shebe bottom obi ehu ntiri na ade block no
well say if you so be block
over all these years smuggle cocoa the only reason why people smuggle cocoa is because there's a price better somewhere na say gold board no mo ba they are be operated to say cocoa board it means to say womo cotton gold in international market
ebo mo penom dia bro
koto gold on time ebo mo penom dia bro na ebo na wo de ma gold producer no se enti se de obetime nya no ewo international market eni akobe obesmogo
yeah sure
that is why we smuggle cocoa for smuggle cocoa na saadi we ebe create emma omano emfaso bi emma de ebe ya ne se ebe ma gold nu nyina be ko underground enna esanso so ebeboa ama galamsey apaganiti galamsey na omo ba be fight no ebe ma galamsey apaganiti if he say one more across one more kototo equipment normally akoma small scale mining I'm over media meti for kwan you too good galamsey for any small scale miners for difference be anymore
edin na sronko
I'm running the woman say microphone be galamsey for a friend microphone small scale miners but who assassin no more difference be any glorify galamseyers and your from small scale miners so enti media me feel say system na wo ho na no o ma no ho no mo make sure
say yes o ma board na wi o ma
but
o ma revoke
unless say o mo intention say on person galamsey e pagani mu na good no yes small go that is the only way I'm hu but your tighten systems na they say big time producers no yes say okay o cotton a o export a percentage say automatic SSA ba ye bibisa na and cover all the small scale miners and the small scale exporters no mu nyina make sure say I buy nya ne share but you have been say o beji bibia aboso na nko an wa bibia na wa to nkrofo gold na wa ka say o mu nyi say na me me koton ni say ya ni nyina ba yira
that's it. My mentor the Embrana break a crack and fan conclude Franco Trading Enterprise for na Omaya Admano Paya and former member of parliament for Fantiaqua South and Afi Ora Eric Odra or tax expect. Those I am Nimni and Omo aiding Como Nokia, Samsung, iPhones, Ahodo, Smart TV, refrigerators, Ahodo, wooden washing machine, microwave, blender. And they want the CCTV cameras and so about account. Near man Dawson or the NSA overcall francotrading.com or online. And I say overquad abraka on main office. I never the cinema share anymore. Or qua and your man in the open who be no near ma in tea ever come for Franco Diamano. What you can choose Franco? They said, so to idea or honor nasa bibiba one hour the bar, you know, near change. And I hope a product to be nasi Nibia within 24 hours. The next flight at Eba, maybe a our product to be also on site to make a Franco buy a small business, but no credit for company not trade actually or outlet in the doors. What the answer will be free. Now, Omano Edin Como 0246 422 338 0246 422 338 0555 939311 0555 939311 0302225651 eya no ape wonom CCTV cameras ni bi emwa let me monitor ofie ni wadwuma sebe ya woni hokra no a na adwuma no eda wo phone so a wo de nam ora rekodro yanko yanim ya kwa akọwie
nti other aspect near the investor confidence.
Yes.
Nti investor community no so no mo nhwe because okay, I say about a year or less than a year Emma some multinationals be omo yesa omo figana so okay
yeah mekai
na nyina free cost of operation, cost of production, electricity and all that. Nti sa almost 15% is a huge cost. And ocean so the business sector no almost they are controlled by the producer price index. Into ono ni ona okwakoto to no ebe kwetia no because ade okwakoto bia no surprise na increase kra electricity cost na increase. Inti eba inflation that's the supply side because all no supply goods and services. Inti ebe build it into his cost of production, material cost, labor cost, operational cost, direct cost, administration cost, marketing cost. Ni nyina ebe fwa e de ashim because of sa increment in the energy cost no. Into be one say in the short term around to more there's a likelihood say in the medium term no betum so antumu so a ebetimi aketeri ni production kakra e be affect demand and so won sana fe na the demand side of inflation so I then abem and a demand side of inflation kra na hedging that's the consumer side because ye doso ye na ma business sector ni sika anytime bia there's inflation the private sector, the consumer, individuals, no, and the business sector niska because you have to go and buy. Yenny doso business sector and the no back or either raw materials. Every baby, few people and a few suppliers. By yenny a better you might be brave. So yena a doso no say disposable income no who quatri pay. Ubo say after consumer level, consumer confidence, purchasing power. Any sa adiana a man say it me tonnes no now be a problem. Inti yen share honum no say the bear. From the producer price index in terms of the supply side of inflation yes sure because eno basa na ubehuano or so kobo bisia dey show up the short term liquidity na you already now no be 15% or so be kwa ben aso so kwa kobo bisia no say interest rate akọ 28% into bankers no so e ka kra beto so wo saban no so no forex a friend saying treasury bills so I then form so the banks will still like to give credit to the business sector. It will be sikanima business sector no so no business sector na ye diskanama no so no there's an indirect way energy cost asan kosoro into both the business now will become a little risk averse so you produce ana young cra
are you expecting say the next window was a ketimi bafom
in terms of the you know
make electricity and
any day we can't tell any day we can't
okay any solutions I would
any day we can't tell because when it came to the prime rate and I say policy rate you know we are thinking say can be bafom but you are not buying who the cost yes so it means it's constricting business income business borrowing private sector borrowing now will crowd out ahanti no aspect ye ka hono enti yen hwe se the consumer price and the producer price na a de-inflation eba no feeding into because as so almost a transport people because say yen kra no ye tria a little higher ewo your friend is saying electricity enti identity na yen so yen to trotro mu yen to uber mu yen to tax mu yen to wesezo no mo so apeja mu market woman no so krum no wo so no so no so want to so kra ento so no bo na yen fan say du man na senso a no atete so it's also a form of inflation to be say for the economy to grow no it will not grow as expected because the purchasing power and the capacity to spend so that you can front and you can help grow the economy in terms of spending, in terms of expenditure, in terms of investment. You know, until the next 6 months, you know, in a country will grow in terms of the gross GDP rate. You know, don't say it will grow because normal we say no will stifle business what expenditure.
That's it. All right, Vat.
Yeah, young Kobe. Media master make and say abayin wadada Ghana for. if you say Ghana for the Sebi come ahochire and the two Abama NDC. Near man MPP for a work town on for say ahochire biaba. Na no so cry say and MPP for external COVID-19 in Ukraine. And no na Ghana for be anti-action on to abati MPP. Na ma bayi a dear pan waya or massa ahochire na akofo. And near mammy and sa ma ahochire e kan hochire ba. Eye sebi aduane. Power. And then yes, ahochire aduane electricity and petrol.
Yeah.
Na the informants petrol no yatum electricity yatum aduane de e natural you see ade ba ko amemi hu a eyema reho no say o hwe agric minister of agric omo na eso omo prove to aduane ne ba na omo budget abandon edem only my budget 922 or so 24 million 922 million the minister of agriculture emu 700 million SARS the tutia work at my forecast until the edico promote to agriculture and kasano 200 million now your term 4.6 billion ama gold board so mo fẹ́ nko toto equipment no mo fẹ́ magalamsi for one who the where the priority of the government like 4.6 billion yen fẹ́ ma Sambija feeling in crop for no mo nko toto excavators ni bulldozers ni tipper trucks na yen fẹ́ ma galamsi for because me who small scale smallest no so me galamsi for so ahochire na Ghana for any brand no fast to abana dada on or start your dada from day one e bi na make it can be brain no na Ghana for is a kan yo na mo anti enyina mo mpaye say nyema besesa na aban pepper 2028 and this MPP besi aba ya beji o man na de akoyidie die koyidie
nkoye
afi na hochire no ba mo
politician don kasa
na go ade na nke shas for example MPP ba 2016
yeah
taxes on what tete so who say oh ma set it off ye
yeah
but we the tax no yi ba akum yenu a what the me establish I mean nkoye
oyi levy 1%
yeah
no the ensuo eco 14% electricity co 14% electricity so amofa is a crazy ni baby it is mobile phone yeah obi use until we levy 1%.
Oh, so one thing is the government is facing revenue challenges. And revenue challenges, no, the traditional ones now.
Are you telling us all about no nima to force in another then the parliament has no
there
will be challenges.
Aban bi anywhere or buy no na
ye dey make us so make us so
face a revenue challenge.
Yes,
aban bi about face revenue challenge.
People buy we now can say yes or we no more face on IMF for and in some bebre. Look at negotiations on Mokoye. Omunya kwan for nurses, for teachers, for veterinary officers, for doctors. Science also was able to tea.
No, the makers say the government is facing revenue challenges. The makers see as some say. Say ye Freddy say betting tax in the man. Omu extra one of the articles mu say for the next 3 years now they will lose or the country will lose 21 point something billion. Enti we no etwetwe abainebo
na hwan na kanso
yes and me chirem ansa na wo hwe other tax system na yin krampo na company tax you increase in 25% na
no tax expert you increase taxes baby na mo fair can you be free yeah okay you tax and I will say me say tax go home a year you know for me it's irrelevant here for instance betting tax open our auto bet.
Okay.
And yeah, by force.
Salad here.
So, but ultimately, I say me pa and I'm so light.
And yes.
So,
make us hear some so. And I will share a friends and recovery tax recovery tax refund issue. Yeah, and no, and your revenue generation and your policy and your strategy. In your case, will be raising 3.8 billion and your income ever. A former part of the tax revenue na ankasa.
Ghana kwa any of my coronavirus or trim and so ye tax on my benin one. Ghana kwa no maya MPP abam pony MPP buying I dream bonny the wood team Ghana kwa na China no cry I ready for bar cry. Ye covered a tax. Me dem nim so oba ya wo ye fi ho.
Oh no we.
Say na me do for ada.
Do for ada me.
It is a innovation. The only thing that makes me the innovation to increase and widen the tax net, and also no the informality and the informal sector, and also no and grant us idea no, we are then there's greater chunk. Yes, and no dear, there are better ways. I can't once a man also know you live here then because that was the only platform. You can track expenditure, you can track income, you can track.
Some policies in T was because it was a political problem.
We have done yes, and we are seeing how it goes. The government is facing revenue challenges.
And on one facing me on one person facing.
Because some people who are my main show, who's a politician. For instance, energy are to me, electricity are to me. Yeah, omoba abemuno. The who balu about aka 5 days. Na ye fuel and all the energy producing electricity into a hot. That was a political propaganda. Omo cars asem Abu Jinapo cars asem. At least 1 month.
John
Jinapo, whatever. Yes, 1 month. Na electricity. Ejinaso. Until person says 1 month, no more import to food amanaba. They were preparing Ghanaians and their minds for this kind of things. They say dumso na ekoso. That was just preparing our mind.
Madam was
saying, from now saying the who balu about containers say again. The result is this 14%. Preparing the minds of the people. Say electricity are running so badly. Containers you say. Obi ent me you container Ghana. Yes, container and this is good at between their show. So this propaganda and the agenda setting to things that Ghanaians can be hoodwinked. They are discerning. Sir, 14% increase. Sir, last week and a container ran giddy. And so it was part of 14%.
But I must say, my poor me Brenna so, Mofan Cheme, Sabine office, come fast raise revenue on one a pets there, Obian can't chance a betting tax on going through on one or so I promise it. Do I promise no Kwakuya, unim the intia, or promise no Kwakuyi. I was for 100 days you made in AC. A vampire say weekend, you one more ever call. Kwauno omon komra asumjemo oduara viva na wafaho na chese Arafat Hills na wakoda na any hills ho na ewo na wakoda me dem nkokwa wuntino nye man na me kura ho minimo Arafat me da so bai minia onso ye da se production team na munyina wase ye bre no ko nyame ya aduma na anwumre ewo boiling point be share di nkomo kakra ya na oni e ehia yakra